Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Aram and there are 4 major trends in rowing that we will already see taking effect in 2019 and in the years to come. Now stay tuned because this is going to be interesting and I think rowing is about to change.
Please listen carefully.
So the first trend that we will see is that the total days of rowable weather will decrease. Not because it's going to get too cold or too hot, it's because it's going to be everything. Weather right now is changing dramatically. And this is not just something that I predict, this is something we can already see with weather data. Every rower and every rowing coach has to follow weather trends and has to follow the current weather. We have to understand, I don't know a single rowing coach who does not have a wind monitoring app, a weather monitoring app on his phone. Rowing coaches actually take a huge chunk of responsibility for our athletes. If we send you out on the water, we better know the weather. And weather has become more extreme. The average temperatures might just go up like 1 degree or 1.5 or not at all. This is nothing I can judge. But what I can judge is that the total days of rowable weather have decreased and will continue to decrease. Right now in Australia, it's too hot to row. Regattas are being cancelled because it's too hot. Chicago, I think everybody was aware that they had minus 24 degrees Celsius, minus 30 degrees Celsius, had to set rail tracks on fire just to keep them working. So this is something that is, of course, a weather extreme everybody talks about, but nobody talks about the days of wind we have. Wind has become a serious issue, and a lot of race courses are prone to have unfair conditions when it's windy. And there's another trend. Wind is about to come from different directions than it used to come. See, 15 years ago, and just talking about Vienna, Austria, we have 3 water bodies we usually row on. The Main Street Danube, just for recreational stuff. The New Danube, which is where the High Performance Center is based. It's basically a straight line, slightly from northwest to southeast, but more or less, east to west, but it's quite a north-south bend as well. And we see that wind has been coming from a whole different, universe of directions that it used to be. Ever changing. It's not like one straight wind you could predict, or you can say, okay, around fall there's no wind. That's not the case anymore. It's different. And the days where we have strong gusty winds have increased. So overall, and this is a trend we see in many places, many countries, and many coaches I talk to, weather has become more extreme and less predictable. And therefore, I believe indoor rowing will become more important. And another trend concerning indoor rowing is a trend that we could foresee in 2000 when we started ByRower. People are looking for realistic rowing devices because we spend more time indoors. As there is less training possible outdoors, we have to get the most realistic training indoors. So when we started the ByRower thing, everybody said, you're crazy, it's just go in the water. It doesn't work anymore. The next trend is a whole different one. Masters rowers are a growing number, probably for me, the most important section of rowers. The number of total elite rowers is about to decrease. Why? Because you can't make any money with rowing. So how long you want to row? You have a lot of kids rowing in schools, especially in the US and the Pacific areas, so New Zealand, Australia, and also in the UK, all the Commonwealth countries. There's school rowing is a big thing, and club rowing in continental Europe is also a big thing. In Asia, it's more. I think Japan, they have Mitsubishi rowing clubs, so the companies that actually have rowing clubs. But this is not significant in numbers. What is significant is the age group of people who can afford to do rowing, which is not a hugely expensive sport, and want to have something that's healthy when you get older. Getting older and staying fitter is a major trend, and this is nothing that I predict. This is just a fact. There are a lot of statistics out there. So I believe that Masters rowing will be the key in the future, and these Masters rowing events will become bigger. Not just the World Masters Rowing Regatta, but also things like the Euromasters in Munich is a big thing. The Masters nationals in the US a big thing. So there are a lot of big Masters events because people want to compete. Just because you're not a so-called elite level rower, it does not mean that you don't like to compete. So Masters events definitely on the march. Something that is a reason why Masters rowing will become more and more and more important and surpass elite level rowing by far is the number of late starters in rowing. To me, this is just my impression, it's a prediction. Again, I might be wrong with any prediction in every prediction I make, but my impression usually seems to be true to some extent. And my impression in this case is that the number of late starters contributes to a huge number of Masters rowers right now. And late starters probably is anybody around the age 30, 40, 50, 60. So within an age span of 30 years, a lot of people start to row. And the reason is very simple. Rowing is probably, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure rowing is the only full body cardio workout that is easy on your joints and that you can do for a long time. FISA has just upgraded the age categories, I think, to 87 years of average. Average competitive age, 87. It's Masters category M as in Martha. Why do they do that? There must be a need. So people see this. People outside of the current rowing community see this. And of course, hey, if they compete at the age of 87, I don't want to sit at home and watch TV all day. I'm going to be in the water out rowing. I want to enjoy my life. Of course, late starters will be a big number. Interestingly, the infrastructure almost worldwide, excuse the wording, sucks. If you're a late starter in rowing, where do you want to go? One of the clubs to go to is CRI in Boston, Community Rowing Club Inc. I think these guys are doing a great job. But here in Europe, nothing's going on. I mean, correct me, send me some updates if there is something, but I don't know much. And right now, I'm writing a book on Masters rowing and specifically late starters in Masters rowing. And I'm also planning on having a seminar dedicated for comeback rowers and late starters in rowing, because this is something where a lot of knowledge needs to be transferred, where a lot of things needs to be done right in order to avoid injuries. Now, what I said before, rowing is the only full body cardio workout that is easy on your joints, a low impact workout, is true as long as we don't talk about standard ergs, old style ergs with linear drive. Everybody knows that's not true anymore. So this is not the healthiest thing you can do. I'm planning on another video. There's an interesting presentation out there talking about lower back pain and ergs. So very interesting, but different video. Now, fourth trend, and this is also a subject I'm covering in a different video, but I think lightweight rowing will become bigger. Not necessarily in elite level events, but elite level events are bound to certain financial structures in the Olympic Committee, within FISA, within the national federations who get funding for certain Olympic boat classes. But generally speaking, lightweight rowing will become a lot more dominant than it is right now in the Masters rowing categories. And this is where the big numbers will be. So Masters rowing and lightweight rowing go hand in hand. And I think last year at the Munich Euromasters, for the first time, they offered lightweight Masters rowing events. In the US, they have had it for a long time now, as far as I know. So they are ahead of all the rest, I think. Great job there. And Masters rowing and lightweight rowing will certainly increase on a parallel basis. So as the Masters rowers become more in terms of numbers, lightweight rowers will also become more. All right. These are the four major trends I see right now in rowing. Keep me updated. Do you think I've missed something? Probably. There's so many things going on right now. Hugely interesting. Changing material. I did a video about changing stroke rates. Link to the video is right there. There's a lot of new things going on. But these are the four I want to talk about right now. Guys, help me grow that channel. Subscribe if you have not already done so. Share the video. You know, if you know somebody, hey, look at this is interesting, share it, pass it along. Would love to do that. And I'm looking forward to see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You went to the screening of Pull My Daisy? Yeah, did you enjoy it?